Match number 7 in World Cup 2019. It is Afghanistan versus Sri Lanka. Two teams that have played their opening encounter and two teams that lost the first match that they played at this World Cup. Of course, Afghanistan going down to Australia, and then you had Sri Lanka going down to New Zealand. In fact, Sri Lanka were dismissed for 136. And what's really unfortunate for them and not great news is the fact that the match will be played in the exact same condition. It's going to be played in Cardiff on the exact same strip. In fact, the news that we were getting, they've got what, 8 mm or 9 mm of grass on that particular track. So a place where fast bowlers can make merry. Okay, joining me on the show, two opening batsmen in Daren, Ganga and Tillakaratane, Dilshan. All right, let's dive straight into the playing 11 for Sri Lanka. We asked Tillakaratane, Dilshan to pick the playing 11. Has he made any changes from the team that we saw that played against New Zealand? Two changes we can see. Sri comes in there for Jeevan Mendes, and then Udana also goes out for him, and he's got Jeffrey Van der Say coming in into the playing 11. Okay, you made two changes, Dilshan. Thoughts on that?
I like to play the last match. We didn't play a proper spinner. I think this match I should play only one spinner. We have on the side Jeffrey Van der Say. I think we are playing same track. If I'm captain, I'm including genuine spinner for this side.
All right. Were you tempted to go and win Nuwan Pradeep as well, considering it's a seaming track and you can expect fast bowlers to get a lot of purchase out of this?
I think I'm stick with the same attack, Lasith and Suranga Lakmal with Tisara Pereira. Might be I change with Isuru Udana to I bring Sri Vardhana. He can bat, he can bowl left-hand spinner. I still stick to the same seam attack rather than Isuru Udana.
Right. Apart from those two changes, the other change you can see on your playing 11 was the fact that Angelo Batthew batting at number 4. Clearly, you weren't happy with him batting lower down the order in the previous game.
Definitely, I think Angelo, he should take the hands up and he should bat number 4. Thing is, we have a most experienced batsman in Sri Lankan lineup. He should take number 4 and more confidence for the other players. He can bat number 4 around Angelo. Other players can bat. I think that's a good move. If you can move to Angelo number 4, I think that's a good move. Take
a look at the Sri Lankan batting. Now, they didn't give a great account of themselves in that first match that we saw versus New Zealand, getting dismissed for 136. Now, this has been a problem area for them, and we're just looking at poorest top order record from 1 to number 7 batting averages, and Sri Lanka is right on top. I'll go to Dilshan for this. We've seen plenty of changes in the Sri Lankan team. Probably that has also contributed, and they've never really had a settled sort of a batting lineup in the last year or so. For this particular encounter, looking at the conditions, do you think the batsmen may have to adapt Karunaratne's school of batting sort of an approach that we saw in that previous game, be a little more circumspect?
I think you are right. Last few months we are not consistent as a batting group. Okay. I think now we have to rethink. And my point of view, I think this batting unit try to bat at least 50 overs rather than try to putting a target. Don't think how much we should get. We should bat full 50 overs. I think last 6 months we didn't bat like exactly 50 overs. We bowled out before 40th over most of the games. I think this match we should bat throughout the innings. That's we should batting as a batting unit should target bat 50 overs. Then whatever target, then give it to bowlers a chance to defend.
Let's take a look at then the Afghanistan playing 11, and we asked Daren Ganga to pick the playing 11 for the Afghanistan team. They put up a resilient fight versus Australia, but then eventually went down in that particular encounter. I see you've made one change. The former captain in Asghar Afghan makes a return at the expense of a spinner. Mujib is out for you.
I say that not because of the quality of Mujibur Rahman. I think he's an excellent spinner and he's contributed tremendously to the success of this Afghanistan team. But I also think you need to take into consideration the balance of your side. Yeah. Doesn't make sense you don't have a strong batting team and you can't put runs on the board or chase a target score because you don't have the batting strength. So that's why the balance is so important. And I say in this World Cup, teams got to be bold. They got to put their emotions aside, make sure they select the right players to play the right role within a team, and not just go with a player because of his reputation. I think with Rashid Khan, Mohammad Nabi, that's sufficient spin options for Afghanistan. I think when you look at when they played against Australia, they lacked an extra batsman. Najibullah Zadran was the only player to score in excess of 50. They rely a lot on Mohammad Shahzad at the top of the innings. But this extra experience in Afghan, I think that will give them a little more liberty, a little more bandwidth in their batting. If they put runs on the board, I think with their captain, with his bowling and his success in the middle overs, they would be a lot more competitive and the side would be a little more balanced.
Let's talk a bit about the Afghanistan batting. We spoke about Soumya Sarkar yesterday for Bangladesh. Didn't get too many runs, but looked the best out of the lot. Similarly, Rehmat Shah for Afghanistan looked the best out of the lot. What does he do? I mean, we are seeing most runs for Afghanistan in ODI since 2017. He's right on top. Also looked good against Australia. What does he do? He's an aggressive sort of batsman, but in a situation where the rest of the batsmen are not getting you runs, what does he do? Be a little more careful or go for the attack? What is the balance?
He's got to stick to the formula that has worked for him in terms of his production of runs and what we've seen in terms of his record. He can't get too flustered with what is happening around him. Every single player has his own role to play within this Afghan side. So for him, it will be to still have the confidence for him to go and play in his style. Yes, they rely a lot on the top order, but I don't think that he must let the situation get the better of him. What he should take into consideration is the fact that we've seen in venues like Cardiff that there's a fair amount of lateral movement early on. There's a little bit of slowness and maybe a little bit of extra bounce too because of the early moisture. He's going to make the adjustment in his game to get past that period. I think 50 over cricket allows a batsman to take a little more time to lay a good foundation, to assess conditions before developing an approach that they think will be successful for them to score runs for their team. He's got that luxury. With the extra batting that I'm suggesting for this Afghan side, it will just relax him a little bit more. Take the pressure off, let him be aware that there's good depth in batting in this Afghan side, and he's allowed to, to express himself and enjoy his game.
All right, care to make a prediction for us?
Well, I think, Sri Lanka is a team that is expected to win. I don't want to say that it's a crisis for Sri Lanka. Afghanistan, yes, they had a good showing against Australia, but on paper, this Sri Lankan team is a superior team, and I expect them to bounce back after that first defeat. Once they make the right adjustments, we're talking about changes in the batting order, senior players taking more responsibility. Once that happens, I think the Sri Lankan team will win that game against Afghanistan.
Okay, Dilshan, are you expecting similar things from the Sri Lankan team, as Daren says here?
Yeah, definitely. This is a good time. I think against Afghanistan match, we can bounce back, continue to winning to this tournament. We can't go wait and see what happens the next game. Definitely, all the senior players and the full team members should hands up. Afghanistan game, they have to play their best cricket to beat Afghanistan and try to continue from there. I think we can't relax. We can't take easy against Afghanistan. We have to play our best cricket. Sri Lankan point of view, we have to play one of the best cricket to beat Afghanistan. I think all the players should take their hands up and do their job.
All right, thanks so much for your predictions, Daren, Ganga and Tillakaratane, Dilshan.
Don't forget to like, share, subscribe and leave your comments in the comment section below. Click on the bell icon for notifications.